that water level should be all the way to the top of that. All right. Keep your cameras out because you don't know what you might see. The only thing I don't want to see is a snake. I am good with that. Because, folks, we have one of the most deadliest snakes that you can imagine here in the West Coast. It's called the Mojave Green. If that Mojave Green bites you, they are going to pronounce you dead. Yes. We have no venom cure for that Mojave Green snake. It has two different kinds of venom, so they're not for sure which, how they can treat it. So you have to always be very much aware of your surroundings when you are in the Mojave Desert. Okay, not only do we have Mojave Green, we got rattlesnakes, we got sidewinders. Look to your right, we got red racers, we got sidewinders, red racers, diamondbacks. So you got to be very careful being in the desert. All right, again, 25 more minutes and we're going to do our final stop. At that time, I'm going to ask all of you to do me one favor. Before you go into the store, will you please form a line and let's get these sandwiches handed out first. Then I will give you folks enough time to go into the store after you get your sandwiches. The bathrooms are going to be located inside to your far left, okay? If there is a big line, and you guys decide you want like a Subway sandwich, then by all means, you better get in that line ASAP. Because when it is time to go, I'm going. I'm leaving. Don't tell me, I'm already up there. No, it doesn't work like that. So please, because folks, we are on a time schedule, period. All right? So kick back, relax, talk amongst yourself. I'm going to put on this video. Enjoy the beautiful view of this Black Mountain Canyon that we're getting ready to go through once we go over this new bypass bridge. Don't be afraid.
Dito? Saan yun? Sa Eagle Point.
No,
Well, maybe. Come on now.
Mas maganda yun dati. Saan tayo sa bridge?
Now he got his car running. Oh, but we got another one.
What is it? You need to try to go and stop.
People don't realize there's a turnout right up here.
The car do that. You put them drive, but it puts it right back out because you've got something.
Oh my God. What the freak? Yung isa dun nasa meadow mismo sa
Exclusive corporate funding for American Experience is provided by Liberty Mutual. Major funding is provided by the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation. American Experience is also
not
made
there.
possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and viewers like you. Thank you.
It has been called an American pyramid, a 60-story colossus of concrete, built in the middle of the desert, every bit as brutal as an ancient Egypt.
Antes era, ¿verdad?
illness or injury to uncounted others.
Everybody that came here was desperate, or they left before they even got a job. It was about the worst nightmare you could think of working.
Their challenge was to harness the country's wildest river, the mighty Colorado, to bring water, power, and people to the Southwest. Now, in a more environmentally conscious age, many wish Hoover Dam had never been built. Yet it stands as a monument to the ingenuity and the sheer human will that forever changed the face of America.
They're out today.
Swam the river, I boated the river, I'd taken people up the river on trips. I felt bad to see it tamed, to tell you the truth.
The Colorado was a river unlike any other. Dark and red with mud and silt carving out the planet's most magnificent canyons. It ran wild until 1901, when Western farmers set out to tame it. Their plan was to water the desert. Developers dug a canal system that brought the river west into Lower California and turned parched soil into a vast agricultural paradise they called the Imperial Valley. For 4 bountiful years, farmers thought they were living a miracle. Then, without warning, the river struck back. In 1905, the Colorado tore open the canal and flooded the valley, creating an inland sea across 150 square miles. Over the next 2 decades, floods would wipe out thousands of farmers.
That's the SOS button.
Millions of dollars were lost.
The river was an enemy. Only in short periods of time could you look at it as a useful river. Most of the times it was something that would kill you or ruin your farm.
Colorado River was out of control. Everybody says, we have no dam, we need a dam. And people started seriously looking at where to put a dam after 1907, up and down the river.
The 1,400-mile Colorado became the obsession of the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation, the agency charged with finding ways to irrigate the arid West.
No, you got Robert and Dirk today, but can I still get
In 1920, the Bureau embarked on an ambitious plan to dam the Colorado and distribute its water hundreds of miles in every direction.
Okay, and I want purple on cheese.
It was called Boulder Canyon Project. Survey crews were sent down the treacherous river to look for the best place to build what would be the largest dam in America.
Dr. Pepper, that's it. I'll see you.
One of the slogans for the river at that time was that it was too thick to
No, I
drink,
want
too
you to
thin
make
to
that today,
plow.
but I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, give it to Robert.
Western establishment nervous.
The thing is, this was not a done deal. Politically, it had to be sold in Washington, D.C. It had to be sold in Congress. Politics was dominated in the East. Talk about flood control in the West was to allow the West to get up and ask for more than they've been asking.
An uncommon sight began to spring